Good evening, everybody, and welcome again to the 14 Eagles webinar screen share. My name is Greg Phillips. I'll be your host. We hope everybody had a great and wonderful week. Some very positive things going on. As you guys know, the 14 Eagles platform is up and going, and things are looking very, very good. I'm going to turn the floor over to Brian Frazier because he's basically going to be talking about the concept of what we're trying to do here, because that's very, very important. Last week, Brian and I and a couple other folks, we talked about, looking at the website over and over and over and really, truly understanding what we're trying to do. And we're trying to really do some very, very positive things. And we want to make sure that we bring the right people to the 14 Eagles platform, and we want to make sure that you bring the right people to the 14 Eagles platform, because truly this is not for everybody. This is very, very special. It's very, very unique, and we want everybody to understand that the power that we have amongst ourselves is going to change the world. With that being said, Bryant, you have the floor.
All right. Thanks a lot, Greg. Appreciate it. First thing I'm going to do real quick, just to keep everything clean here. Just gonna, alrighty. The first thing I want to start off with is the update on the 14 Eagles platform. The update with the developers. They are still working on the platform. I spoke with them last night, and they said that they still have a little bit more to do with it. They had to basically almost a large part of it they had to redo because of a glitch that they had in it. So we're hoping sometime this weekend we're hoping to be able to have access to it. If not, looking for the first part of next week. They're working on it diligently, and when you're dealing with this coding software, is very tedious. It's a very tedious job, and it's attention to detail. And so they're working on it, and hopefully they'll get that done in a timely fashion. I want to get into the website real quick. As you see on the screen, if you're on the computer, this is our community website for 14 Eagles. We're very proud of this website, and it's steady evolving. And so we want you to really pay attention to this website. 95% of anything that you want to know about 14 Eagles is going to be right here on this website. It's a lot of information on this website, and we really encourage you to check this website out. Go through it, go through all the tabs on it, look at all the videos that are on the website, because that's going to give you a pretty good perspective of what 14 Eagles is all about. In speaking with people in reference to 14 Eagles, we're a little bit different than a lot of other programs out there. So it's very imperative that people come to the website and take a look at what we do. It's going to be difficult to explain it to people, so you want to try to get them to these Thursday night webinar calls, because we don't want people really trying to explain the actual platform itself. We'd rather people come to the website and look at the video presentations of the platform. And if you click on the menu bar here, you'll see the presentation right here. Matter of fact, we got to put 14 Eagles presentation up here too, so it can be distinguished. But you really want to take a look at the 14 Eagles presentation of the platform, so you can really see how that platform really works, how the gifting platform works. And you'll be surprised the simplicity of it. It's very simple. It's very easy to follow, and I think people really get the gist of it once they really get involved and see how it really works. But the main thing that we really want to get across to people in reference to 14 Eagles is our concept. The concept of what we do and why we're here. All right. But before we get into that, one thing I'd like to go over, because people take a look at programs like this, and because we're kind of different than most programs, we get lumped in to the stigma of what people call a pyramid scheme. All right, and so I always like to address that ahead of time, just to ease people's fears and mentality about what a pyramid scheme is, because anytime that you're dealing with the program or any type of platform or business where you have to bring people in to get involved, quote unquote recruit, invite, people's antennas go up, and the first thing that they think about, oh, you're talking about one of those pyramid things. And most people really don't know what a pyramid really is. And so what I want to do, just to get it on record, to show people exactly what a pyramid really is, so they won't get it confused when looking at the 14 Eagles platform. All right. And it's very easy to do that, because most people look at the pyramid structure and they look at the fact that you're bringing people in, recruiting or inviting people in. And so that's the first thing that goes to their mind, because that's what they're kind of trained to believe. And so we want to try to break that mentality and to break that belief, so people don't think that 14 Eagles is a pyramid scheme or any other program that has that type of structure is a pyramid scheme, because it's not. And so that's why I just wanted to put up here on the screen the definition of a pyramid scheme, just to kind of break that down a little bit, to give you a better understanding of what a pyramid scheme really is compared to what we do here at 14 Eagles. So with the pyramid scheme, a pyramid scheme is a fraudulent system of making money based on recruiting an ever-increasing number of investors. And the key word here is investors. All right? The initial promoters recruit investors, who in turn recruit more investors, and so on. The scheme is called a pyramid because at each level, the number of investors increase. So the key word here is investors. All right? Anytime that you have a platform where you're bringing people in to invest money, and investing money, promising them some type of rate of return on their money, and you're paying those people with the in investors' money for the last investors that come in, and you're paying the first investors that came in with those monies. That is what you call a pyramid scheme. That's a money game. And so that's illegal. That is a fraudulent system. All right? And so when you're dealing with that type of system, most people equate that to other programs where you're bringing people in. And so we just want to try to show you the distinction between the two. Because 14 Eagles, we are not a pyramid scheme. We don't have investors here. 14 Eagles is not a business. It's not a corporation. It's not an MLM company. All right? It's just a platform where people can come to give gifts to other people, peer-to-peer, person-to-person. All right? And so in doing that, it's almost like laying down a road, putting a road down, putting the asphalt down in a big field, and making a road to get from one side of the field to the other side of the field. That's all it is. There's no toll bridges there. There's no monies to pay to anybody to be able to get on that road. It's just a road that you can get on so you can go and meet with somebody else. And that's it. And that's basically what we have set up with 14 Eagles. It's just a platform where people can systematically give to each other, to help each other, to help them with their financial goals. All right. So I hope everybody can understand what a pyramid scheme really is, and how much different it is to what we do here at 14 Eagles in any other platform that's in a structure like a pyramid, okay, in the shape of a triangle. All right. Everything that's shaped like a triangle is not a pyramid scheme. All right. All right. So now, what I want to do in showing you what 14 Eagles, the concept of 14 Eagles, the best way to do that is to really take you to the website and show you our welcome on the website, because it really gives it to you in a very succinct fashion about what 14 Eagles is all about, what our concept is all about, and why we're here. And so that's why we encourage you to come to the website and check out everything on the website, because you'll really get a good perspective of what we're all about here. And so the welcome says, 14 Eagles is a platform that provides like-minded people from all walks of life the opportunity to help one another. 14 Eagles is not a business. It's not a corporation. It's not a network marketing organization. Rather, it's a private, invitation-only, global community of people who believe in the principle that by helping others, in that process, we help ourselves. And that's the premise of 14 Eagles. As we give, so shall we receive. 14 Eagles commonly uses a unique online gifting platform that allows members to come together for mutual interest, commitment, and prosperity. 14 Eagles has taken a concept that is actually thousands of years old, giving, sharing, and accepting, and merged it with modern-day technology to create a virtual community, a community that has developed its own economy of peer-to-peer giving and sharing, which provides economic stability to become self-sufficient and self-sustaining. The 14 Eagles community is a bridge used to move people from a debt-based system formed on selling, buying, and taking to a collaborative-based system formed on giving, sharing, and accepting. This virtual community creates a paradigm shift in consciousness that inspires people to work together and garners love and harmony on a whole new spiritual level. There is a universal law, God's law. Whatever you give out into the universe, you will get back in abundance. If you are someone that has a heart of giving, forgiving, and genuinely like helping people, then get with the individual who referred you to the 14 Eagles community and let them know you want to be a part of this growing movement to change the world into the place it was meant to be. To register for the 14 Eagles community is free, but to send and receive gifts through the platform, you will need to get a Cash App and OG Pay accounts. Get with the member that invited you to walk you through that process. So you see, that's 14 Eagles in a nutshell. All right. We're here to try to help one another. We have to change the things that we've been doing, because our system, our economic and monetary system that we're in today doesn't afford us the ability to really work together and to prosper. That's not what that system was designed for. And you can really tell by the time that has taken to get to where we are today. You know, we've been under this system for hundreds of years, and it has evolved into less than 5% of the world's population controls 95% of the wealth. There's something wrong with that picture. All right? There's something wrong with a system that does that, that allows that to happen. And so in order for us to try to change that system, we have to do it ourselves. We can't wait for somebody else to do it. We've been waiting already. And look where we are. We have people living in the street. We have people that are homeless, losing their homes on a daily basis. We have people that don't have enough money to keep their lights on or put food on the table. It's just an economic disaster. But they give us the illusion that we're the richest country in the world. And people around the world are supposed to be prosperous, but they're not. It's too much evidence that there's the haves and have-nots is a big disparity. There's too much evidence of that. We see that every day. And so waiting for someone to change that for us, we're going to be waiting for a long, long time. So this is a way for us to take matters into our own hands and to do it in a legal and moral and ethical way. We don't have to rob and cheat and steal and take from each other in order to get things done. Right? But the system that we're in, it almost encourages you to do that in the way that they run the system. And so, you know, cheating and stealing and taking from people is almost the norm in the system that we're in today. So we're trying to change that. And we're trying to change that ourselves. It's up to us. It's literally up to us. We can't wait for some government to come and try to bail us out. It seems like they only do that for the big banks. They don't do that for the people. And seeing we have to flip the script because they have done that to us. Governments, not just this country, but governments around the world, have taken the corporate government, the constitutional governments, have changed and turned into a corporate government. And when it changed into a corporate government, then that's where we lose. That's where we lose. And so we're no longer going by the Constitution anymore. And that's another thing that we do here at 14 Eagles. We try to share as much information and educate people as much as possible about what's really going on. All right? Not the stuff that you get on the mainstream TV, mainstream media, but information that you otherwise would not get. And so that's what makes 14 Eagles very unique when it comes to gifting platforms. Okay, because we're more than just a gifting platform. All right? We're much more than that. And so one of the things that we're trying to do as well, because we're looking to be a virtual community. That's what we're doing here. Becoming a virtual community, building a community in the virtual world. So we can build up our financial resources and take it into the real world and make physical changes in the real world. And that's a concept that most people are not privy to. You know, we're not really thinking in that way. And so that's why we become very unique in that way, in doing that. And so when building a community, you know, you always have to have businesses in a community. Because in a community, you need businesses to give you things that you need in a community. No matter what that is. We're looking for all grassroots type of businesses to come into this virtual community. And so on our website, as you can see here, we're asking businesses to come to our community, and we're going to allow them to advertise on our website to the community. Because if you have something that the community needs, then you need to let our community know. It's very vital for that. And so one of the biggest expenses for any business is advertising. Ask any business, small or big. One of their biggest budgets is trying to get their goods and services to the people. Let the people know that they have these goods and services. So advertising is a very, very powerful thing, but it's a very expensive thing in the real world. Where here in our virtual community, businesses can advertise for free. The only thing that we want the businesses to do is to help the community to grow. And if we help the community grow, then the business can't lose. There's no way a business can lose if they help the community that they're advertising to grow. And that's a win-win situation right there. So imagine a business coming involved with 14 Eagles and helping the community grow while you advertise. That means that you're receiving gifts and contributions while you're advertising your business. So now, all of a sudden now, you may, at one point, receive more by way of gifts and contributions than you're actually receiving by selling your goods and services. Now your thinking starts to change, right? Because now your focus is more on building a community. And that's what it's all about. Because the more we build the community, the more we help one another, then the more we can do out into the real world and to affect change. And you become the catalyst to that change. I hope this is making sense to you. Now, there's a lot of people out here, believe it or not, that are trying to affect change, that are trying to help. And people are helping in a lot of different ways. And so we're not just the only ones trying to make things change and for the better. Because there's no way that we could actually do this by ourselves. Of course not. But we do encourage people to partner up with other people into your communities that have other programs. We encourage that. We're not trying to, monopolize the giving community. We're trying to bridge the gap. We're trying to work together with everybody, no matter what they have. That's what it's all about. That's the whole concept here. Our motto is give from the heart, share the love, and accept your blessings. And as long as we're in the giving mode and we're in the sharing mode, nothing but good can come from that because it's genuine. It's genuine from your heart. And so one of the things that we've done to help bridge that gap is we've partnered with a company called Fund Me 24/7. And Fund Me 24/7 is dealing in the crowdfunding industry. Most people, some people have heard of crowdfunding, but most probably hear more about the GoFundMes. All right. Well, the crowdfunding industry, I'm telling you, Fund Me 24/7 is taking it by storm because it has taken crowdfunding to a whole nother level. And because the way that Fund Me 24/7 operates, it operates right in line of how 14 Eagles operates, the same type of concept. All right. Fund Me 24/7, where they allow people, based on current law, on the Jobs Act that was brought into fruition by Barack Obama, was signed into law back in 2012, allowing you to raise funds through crowdfunding. And so Fund Me 24/7 has developed a platform where you can do just that. And for whatever personal project that you have, you'll be able to raise funds for that project. So if you have, like say, you want to start a college fund for your kids, you can do that through Fund Me 24/7. Maybe you have college debt yourself, and you have student loans that you have to pay off. Well, guess what? That's a project, and you can raise funds through Fund Me 24/7 for that. Maybe you're trying to put a new roof on your house. Well, that's a project. You can raise funds for that. Or maybe you're trying to buy a house, trying to get a down payment to buy a house. Well, that's a project. You can do that. So no matter what your project is, personal or business, you'll be able to raise those funds through Fund Me 24/7. And guess what? You won't have to go and beg the bank to give you a loan so you can pay that loan back at interest and ultimately pay back twice what the loan was worth. Okay? We're trying to change the game here. We're trying to put the advantage back in the people's hands. All right? And this is what we're trying to get across to the public. And so in doing that, though, we have to educate people. We have to show them, how that's done. And we have to educate them on the concept of doing that because they're not used to that. So it becomes a thing to where we have to really retrain people in their thinking because they're so used to being bogged down into a debt system, into a system that, basically takes from you instead of gives to you. All right? So it can be a little difficult. I'm going to be straight up with you. It can be a little difficult because once you're used to doing something one way for so long, basically all of our lives, and now you're trying to come in and change it and trying to bring in something new, well, of course, people are going to look at it a little funny at first. But once they understand the concept of what we're doing here and why we're doing it and show that there's nothing to fear in what we're doing, then guess what? People will come in wholeheartedly because they know it's the right thing to do. As long as they know that it's legal, moral, and ethical, there's no reason for people not to get involved. All right? So what I want to do real quick is I just want to go to Mark Stevens real quick. He is the facilitator of the Fund Me 24/7, and he has really put himself out there to really create a platform for people to really get ahead financially, to get out of this debt system. And Fund Me 24/7 is really disrupting the crowdfunding industry because it's really needed. We're in the times right now to where this is so needed. It is so needed right now. People are hurting. And so this Fund Me 24/7 and 14 Eagles coming together is really going to change the way people look at these industries now, and the way that they look at business, and the way that they look at raising funds and getting out of debt. It's going to change your whole concept, your whole consciousness in doing that. And so what I want to do is I want to bring Mark Stevens up and just to go over just a little bit about Fund Me 24/7 and how we're going to be working together with 14 Eagles. Mark, are you up live?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, yeah, go ahead, Mark, and just go over Fund Me 24/7, the concept of Fund Me 24/7, and how we're working together with 14 Eagles.
Okay, well, peace and blessings, everyone. It's a very exciting time that these two platforms have come together because it's nothing like it on the planet. It's nothing like it. As Brian said, former President Barack Obama, April 5th, 2012, signed into law under the Jobs Act, the crowdfunding law. And again, as Brian said, what it allows you to do is for any project so long as it's legal, moral, and ethical, you can raise up to $1 million for that project. And everybody that's 18 and above can participate in this platform. And it's automated, so there's not very much that you have to do. You just join, and we have our platform. We have just like in 14 Eagles, we have a video on the front that actually explains it, and it's really very simple, because we live in a time that people, as I often say, half the people in the U.S. go to bed at night, can't sleep, stressed out, because they're wondering, how am I going to pay the bill the next day? How am I going to college educate my kid? The bank won't lend me any money. I don't want to go to the payday lenders. They charge so much money, and you don't have to do that. We provide the opportunity for you to do that, because I always say that, there's a difference in being broke and being poor. being broke is just an economic condition, which means that you can change it if you act. If you act on this 14 Eagles platform, if you act on the Fund Me 24/7 platform, but being poor is a disabling frame of mind and a distressed condition of the spirit. So we must vow never ever to be poor again, and you don't have to be, because when you combine these two platforms, you get the 14 Eagle platform, you have the gifting part of it, you have the information that they give, the education. You can't get anywhere else. It's the truth. You can't get anywhere else, but you can get it in the 14 Eagles platform. So we came together because we can help people in two ways: giving them information, they can get gifts, and then they can raise the money through our platform to do whatever they need to do to take care of themselves and their family. And it can be used for so many different projects. So I like to encourage everybody to, we have a presentation on Mondays and Thursdays, and right after that, 14 Eagle has their presentation. If you go to both, you'll learn a lot, you will see everything, and you will see what we're talking about. No stone is unturned. Everything is there for you to change your life if that's your desire. Peace and blessings. Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Mark. Very well said. I'm telling you, the coming together of these two platforms is going to be phenomenal. And I believe truly in my heart that, down the road, 2 or 3 years from now, 14 Eagles and Fund Me 24/7 are going to be household names. And people are going to be looking for us. They're going to be looking for us because of what we're doing, because of what we have. Because this is actually, to me, this is the first time that I've ever seen, and I've been in the networking industry for years, and this is the first time I've ever seen two platforms come together where people can literally work together. Okay, this is a literal work together platform. I've always heard people in the past, we could really get ahead if people just work together. If people just work together, just come together. And it seems like the only time that we really come together is when there's a disaster. When somebody, house burns down, or the neighborhood is filled with gangs, or it's got to be some kind of trauma or some kind of disaster that's going on before people actually come together and put their resources together, put their minds together, and really do something together. We're always apart. We're always divided. We gotta break that mentality. We gotta break that tradition. We gotta get out of that condition. And we gotta start new. We gotta start fresh with a new system, a new platform. And that's what we're doing here. And it takes time to change. We understand that. It takes time. But it's got to come from the heart. It's got to be real. There's no greed here. There's no envy here. It's literally people coming together to share with one another, to give to one another, and accept the blessings that you get from each other. That's what it's all about. Now, excuse me. Now also, Fund Me 24/7 on our site, on the 14 Eagle site. You can look at the Fund Me 24/7 presentation on the 14 Eagle site as well. We have a tab for that. Take a look at the video presentation for Fund Me 24/7, so you can really get the gist of what it's really about, how the platform works. Also, they have Feed Me 24/7. Feed Me 24/7 is a feeder system So if you're the type of person that you don't really like talking to people and you don't know how to present anything to anybody, well, guess what? The Feed Me is for you. It's for everybody. Because what are we trying to do? We're trying to build the community. And the best way to build the community is what? To educate. And with Feed Me 24/7, they have an ebook that they're giving away. It's an ebook that you give away that tells you about a sharing economy, about collaborative economic cooperation. That's what it's all about. And they're going to educate you on how that works and how to build your crowdfunding platform. Education is the key, and it's up to us to educate each other. So therefore, with Feed Me 24/7, you don't have to know anything. You just give away the ebook and let people read it. Very simple stuff. 12 pages. 12 simple pages with powerful information. Take you every bit of about 25 minutes, or if you're a slow reader like me, 30 minutes. And it'll give you enough information for you to grab the concept of what's happening here. See? Like Mark said, we leave no stone unturned. No stone unturned. So with Fund Me 24/7 and Feed Me 24/7, 14 Eagles, and then also in Fund Me 24/7, they have what is called the Infinity Plan. Wow. When you see the Infinity Plan, it will blow your mind. When you combine all this together, okay, your financial goals is just minutes away from being accomplished. Once you really get the gist of that. All right? And so we're trying to take you through that process to get those things done. And this is the place to be. This is the platform to come to, where you can be taught how to get that done. And people will work with you. You won't be alone. We're all working together to get it done. It's very rare that you're going to see this. And we know we're doing this at the right time. At the right time in history. This is being done. Okay? So now we have 14 Eagles and Fund Me 24/7 and Feed Me 24/7. Well, we're trying to make it very simple for you. So with that in mind, we developed what we call a starter pack. Right? Because with just $16 out of pocket, one time, $16 out of pocket, you can get involved with Feed Me 24/7 for just $10, one time out of pocket. To get that Feed Me platform is only $10 one time out of pocket, which that platform is going to generate $30 every time you fill a pod. And also puts you into Fund Me 24/7 for free. And as you build your pod in Feed Me 24/7, that generates $30 that's going to put you into Fund Me 24/7. Does that make sense? So if Feed Me 24/7 is $10 one time, then you will join 14 Eagles, which is free, and you're going to send three $2 gifts. 3 $2 gifts as a total of $6. 3 $2 gifts. That's all you got to do. And then what you want to do is you want to create your project, whatever project that you want to fund. When you create that project that you want to fund, you're on your way. It's that simple. And as I said, as you fill a pod, it only takes 6 people to fill a pod. You'll receive $30, and that's going to help to activate your Fund Me. And when you get into the Fund Me plan in Fund Me 24/7 and enter into the Silver Success Target, then you're gonna bring in, by way of contributions, of $75 every time you fill a silver tier. And you're going to work your way up to 4 other tiers, up to Crown, from $25 all the way up to $200 contributions on a consistent basis. Look at the video presentation for Fund Me 24/7. Will blow your mind. All right, and when you do that, you will on a consistent basis as you build these pods, and other people build their pods right behind you, and as you build that crowd, you will get contributions on a consistent basis, and at the same time, you will generate the funds to create the infinity plan, which will take you to a whole nother level of contributions. So $16 can literally bring you contributions and gifts on a consistent basis by building your own crowd. You have 4 different ways to receive gifts and contributions from a one-time $16 out of pocket from the same crowd. See, you may not understand that yet, but as you look at this, look at it several times if you have to. Go over this. Go over the 14 Eagles platform, go over to Fund Me 24/7 and Feed Me. And when you get it down, I'm telling you, you will not be able to sleep. You will not be able to sleep. And the only way this is going to work for you is if you go out here and you help somebody. You got to help somebody. You have to have it in your heart to want to go help someone. Because if you do that, guess what? The money will chase you down. You don't have to believe me. Put it into action and experience it for yourself. That's all I say. Okay? So this is the simple process right here. This is what we call a starter pack. Right? And so you can start out this way. Now you can get involved with all of the platforms at one time if you want. Okay, which is a total of about $76. But this right here, this is the economic way to do it. $16. All right, you can't go wrong with people spend $16 for lunch. Okay, this is lunch money for most people. So this is not an investment. Okay, this is not an investment. If anything is being invested, you are the investment. Because this is about you. This is about you helping people and people helping you. This is a people-to-people activity. That's what this is. That's why I said we have to understand the concept. Now, what I want to do, real quick, let's do this. There's a thing that I like to call the numbers don't lie. And some of you probably have heard me say this before. But numbers don't lie. And when you really look at this, what we're doing here, and you really put the numbers to it, it brings it into another whole new perspective for you. Because mathematics is an exact science. 1 + 1 is 2 all day long, no matter how you look at it. You can turn it upside down, sideways. It's going to always be the same result. Right? Now, follow me here real quick. If on my left, I have a box that has $1 million in it, and I say to you, this $1 million is yours, and you can have this $1 million. After 30 days, I'm going to give you this box with $1 million in it. Okay? And on the right, I have a penny. And that penny, I say, I'm going to give you this penny, and this penny is going to double every day for the next 30 days. And after 30 days, I'll give you all the money that's generated from that penny doubling every day for 30 days. Which one would you take? Right off the top of your head, which one would you take? The box with the $1 million in it, or the penny that doubles every day for 30 days? And I'm just let you think for a minute. Now, when you do this in a room full of people, most people are hesitant because they think it's a trick. This is a trick. But right off the top of their head, you know which one they went for, right? The $1 million. Why? Because we're trained to go for the big money. That's how we are trained to do that. Society has trained us to go for the big money, get the bling bling, right? Ain't nobody gonna pick up a penny. They'll walk over a penny every day. A penny really doesn't mean that much to most people. This is what I want you to do. I want you to get a calculator, and I want you to start out with 1 cent. And I want you to double that 1 cent every day on a calculator. So you start out with 1 cent. The next day, you add 2 cents. Add it up. Add another 4 cents. Add it up. Add another 8 cents. And you keep doing that every day for 30 days. You do that 30 times. And then you look at that calculator. And then you tell me which one would you take then? The box with the $1 million or the penny that doubles every day for 30 days? Because after 30 days, that penny turns into $5.3 million in 30 days. To most people, that makes no sense. That doesn't even compute in your mind. How a penny could turn to 5.3 million in 30 days. But the numbers don't lie. No matter how you calculate that up, no matter if you do it upside down, sideways, it's still going to come out to the same number. Okay? So now watch this. Okay? Because these little simple programs that we have here, 14 Eagles and Fund Me 24/7. If you go out and you get 2 people, you invite 2 people who invites 2 people, who invites 2 people every day for just 14 days. Just 14 days. Nobody's getting more than 2 people. You get 2 people, they go get 2 people, the next day they go get 2 people, and so on and so forth for 14 days. How many people would you end up with after 14 days? That you started. You started it now. 2 people. You went and got 2 people, and they went and got 2 people. At the end of 14 days, how many people would be in your crowd? Think about that. Let's look. If you did that for 14 days, you would end up with, and we're only talking about 2 weeks, 32,766 people. Now I know your eyes is buckling and you're saying, wait a minute. That can't be right. And all everybody did was just get 2. You see how simple this is? Just getting 2. 2 people. All right? Now, apply that to 14 Eagles with a $2 gift. Everybody giving a $2 gift. A $2 gift in 2 weeks, okay, just on the first step of 14 Eagles, a $2 gift, that's over $49,000. $49,000. See, that's what happens when we just keep it simple. Look at Fund Me 24/7. Just in the silver tier, on Fund Me 24/7, just the silver tier, where you receive $12.50, okay, per person that comes through the silver tier. That's $273,000. In 2 weeks, in 14 days? No, you're lying to me. You got to be kidding me. That makes no sense. Okay, maybe we can compute it in our minds this way. Okay, would you think it would be possible to do that in let's give it 2 months? What if you could do that in 2 months? All right, because if you combine 14 Eagles, the $2 gifts with the $12.50 contributions, if you combine the two, that's $322,000. You think you could do that in 2 months with everybody just getting 2? No, okay, that's probably unbelievable too. Well, what about if we did it in 2 years? What if it took us 2 years to get $322,000? Would it make more sense then? Would it be worth doing it? Getting 2, who could get 2, who could get 2. And it took you 2 years to accomplish that. Would it be worth it? Because I know there's people that work 40 years on a job and don't get that kind of money. You understand? It's a concept. Do you think if you had $322,000, you think you could get out of debt then? You think you could start a college fund for your kids then? You think you could buy a new house with that? It's the concept. People helping each other. Small numbers. We don't have to look at the big picture right away. Let's focus on the small stuff, the simple things, and let it build. Let it grow exponentially. Make sense? Okay. See, I could go on this all day long, but I'm not going to do it. Hey, look, 14 Eagles, Fund Me 24/7. We're partnered together. We're getting ready to start a campaign. And when we start this campaign, we have a database that we're campaigning to of over 30,000 people. We can't work with all 30,000 people by ourselves. We need help. So if you don't know somebody in 14 Eagles or Fund Me 24/7, get with us and you can send us a note right here. You can join our newsletter, put your name and email in there. Send us a message down here. Let us know that you're interested because we need help. If you know someone in Fund Me 24/7 and 14 Eagles, get with them. They need help. And we want to help you. Let's work together. All right? Let's build this community where everybody can prosper. Okay? Send us a message. Send us an email. You can also go to our Contact Us page as well, where you can look at our get the link to our webinars. Have people come here. They can click right here to come to our webinar on Thursday nights. We even have a sizzle call that you can call, just to give people a brief message about what we do here. Okay. We leave no stone unturned. And you can also email us at controltower@14eaglesden.com. Let us know that you're interested. Get with the person that invited you. Get with them so they can work with you to get you through the process. And before we go, I'd like to bring up my partner, Greg. I call him Mr. 14 Eagles. Greg Phillips. He's been with me since the beginning. We've gone through the ups and downs with 14 Eagles. We've saw the bad and the good, and we've also helped a lot of people going through 14 Eagles. But now we're the new 14 Eagles. We're going to a whole nother level as we've partnered with Fund Me 24/7. And we're going to take the world by storm. And we want you with us. We want you with us. So, Greg, come on up here and close us out, if you will.
Hi, everybody. Brian, that was powerful. Mark, I want to thank you again for getting on the call because I know you're very, very busy. And family, I'm so excited. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm pacing back and forth in my office. We want you to know something very, very important. These calls are recorded, right? And like we say, we like to leave no stone left unturned. Make sure you get this information out to your friends and family. And if you're not receiving our videos of the week or you're not receiving our recorded messages of this call, make sure you go to Control Tower at 14eaglesden.com. Again, that is Control Tower at 14eaglesden.com. Make sure you become part of our email database so we can get this information out to you so you can get it out to your friends. I am so pumped up right now because, as Brian said, all it takes is two. Two will do, but three will set you free. And that's what we want you people to understand, that we have the opportunity now to do some of the most powerful things, and we're living in the greatest time right now because we can come together and do this. Combining these two platforms together is probably the most powerful thing that you're going to be able to get involved with. And the great thing is, all you people that are on this call right now, you need to understand something very, very important. You're in front of everything that's getting ready to happen. A lot of people don't even know about what we're doing just yet. You know, a lot of people don't know. So if you get your friends and family involved with the 14 Eagles platform, like Brian said, in 2 to 3 years from now, these two platforms are going to be household names. These two platforms are going to change the way we think. And in closing, I just want to say, make sure you bring your friends and family here next week, same time. Just bring one person. If you have to three-way them into the call, if you got to club them over the head and drag them into this call, do what you have to do because we have the opportunity to do some very, very powerful things right now. And in closing, I like to say this here. I like to get a quote I call the spiritual networker. And it's this here because a lot of stuff, the information that Brian passed on, a lot of information that Mark passed on is very, very hard to believe because, like Brian said, we have been trained to think small. And we want you to understand this here. Nothing in the universe is real until you believe it. So if you believe that you can do this, we can change the world. With that being said, family, we want to thank you again for taking time out of your busy schedule to come join us tonight. Again, just bring one. If everybody just bring one person next week to this call, you'll be surprised what we'll be able to do in, like Brian said, 2 weeks. You know, in 2 weeks we'll be able to do some very, very powerful things. And when the platform and the campaign gets started, this thing is over. I mean, we have the opportunity to be free, mentally, spiritually, and that's what we're trying to strive for right now. You know, and we have the information to help pass on to you guys. You know, we want you to understand that we share knowledge, we share information that you're not going to get on mainstream media. We need to make sure that we understand that we can open up our consciousness because that's all this is. It's just becoming aware of who we are and how powerful we really are. Thank you again for coming. We will see you next week. God bless. Have a safe and pleasant week. Bring your friends and family because this thing is that powerful. Bring them
Hey, Greg, real quick.
Yes.
I'm going to stop the recording real quick. Hold on.